We got our tight end. But is he good? Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Packcast, the podcast where you're a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Grossi, and we are going to break down the Packers' 75th pick in the third round, and that is Jace Sternberger, the tight end from Texas A&M. Before we get to that, I want to do a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy for your continued support. If you would like to support me and get some cool rewards, check out patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy, and a thank you. Now, Jace Sternberger, I actually mentioned him in my 7-round mock draft for the Green Bay Packers. I had him going in round 5, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. Round 4 or round 5. But obviously, the Green Bay Packers do not have any 4th-round picks because they traded them both away to the Seahawks in order to get Darnell Savage. And so we're kind of going for our tight end a little bit early. Now, here's what I like about Jace Sternberger. He's 6'4", 251. Could be a little bit bigger, but that's fine. 2018, here's his stats. 48 receptions, 832 yards, 10 touchdowns. Super duper impressive for Texas A&M. And that's pretty much it. He doesn't really have any stats from, he's bounced around schools a lot, and so there's really nothing else to show. So in the 1 year of productivity, he showed that he was a great route runner. He had reliable hands. He's basically just a big receiver running out there. So that's all well and good. His feet are great. The downside is he is not a great run blocker. He needs help also in the pass blocking in general, but also in the pass blocking department. Taking a look at some of his combine stats, he was the 11th fastest tight end in the 40-yard dash, 10th in bench press, 9th in the 3-cone drill. So kind of not super duper hot during the combine, but obviously put up some great production in the 1 year for Texas A&M. Now, for me, obviously tight end was a priority when we were taking a look at what the Packers needed, and considering we already addressed offensive line, safety, and pass rusher, the only other position I really saw of need was inside linebacker, and instead we decided to go tight end. Now, we obviously already have 3 tight ends on the roster, right? So we have Robert Tonyan, we also have Mercedes Lewis, and we also have, of course, Jimmy Graham. And now add Jace Sternberger. So I think a couple things here. One, I'm very curious to see how these tight ends are going to be utilized. Obviously, in Mike McCarthy's old offense, there was no utilization of tight ends, even if Jimmy Graham was healthy and could catch the ball. I don't know how much he would have been used to begin with. I know that Packers fans, when Jimmy Graham was signed, were basically like, oh my God, yes, we have a red zone threat. We have a deep middle threat. Yes, yes, yes. And that just never came to fruition. Now, people saying like, oh, we should go out and get like Jared Cook again, what have you. I am tired of going out and getting these veteran free agent tight ends. I wanted an actual solution to this position by drafting a young guy. Now, we just got Tonyan, right? But he barely played last year. I hope he gets playing time this year, but I have to be completely honest, I don't know if he's going to get it, considering there's going to be a lot of competition at that position. Mercedes Lewis is the blocking tight end, because right now we don't have one on the team, because it sure as hell ain't Jimmy Graham, and it ain't going to be Jace Sternberger either. Hopefully Jace Sternberger can pick up some tricks from Mercedes Lewis. And then, of course, we have the guy that he's the highest paid tight end in the NFL, and that is Jimmy Graham. And so I think the most curious thing is, what is Matt LaFleur going to do with all of these tight ends? Is it going to be like, hey, Tonyan, your number one competition is Sternberger, beat him out or you're released? Is it going to be an issue where like Jimmy Graham is going to get the majority of the reps, or is he just going to come in on third down and you're going to have again, there's a lot of different packages that they obviously can use, and they can kind of rotate what they're going to be doing with these guys. They could essentially run 2 tight ends, packages, but I think at the end of the day, I'm happy that they went out and they got a tight end. I mean, if you are new to this channel, spoilers, I was really high on TJ Hawkinson, who went to the Lions. He was the only tight end I would have suggested taking in the first round, considering he had that blocking ability and also the route running. And while Noah Fant, his counterpart, really is meh with the blocking. He is more of the route running guy. And so, while I'm glad that we got a reliable target for Aaron Rodgers, he would be the future when Jimmy Graham eventually leaves, because we're probably going to cut him next year. At least I would. I'm happy about all of that. He needs to grow, though. He obviously doesn't have a lot of experience. He's more of a one-year wonder. And, if he had this kind of productivity again, right, he might be going in the first round. But I think this is similar to the Rashawn Gary pick in that the guy is athletic. The guy has the upside. He has the potential. It's just that we need to utilize him in the correct way, something that hasn't been done for tight ends for quite some time. But I'm curious to see what you think about this pick. Obviously, we didn't get a blocker again, but that's what we have Mercedes Lewis for. Are you concerned about Robert Tonyan and his playing ability? Where does Jimmy Graham fit into this? That's what I'm going to be very interested to see what the tight end competition looks like in camp. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com, TOMGROSSI Comedy, at Tom Grossi Comedy on all the social media you see down below. Check out Patcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, and of course here on YouTube multiple times per week. We'll be having a bunch of breakdown videos on the players that the Packers draft tomorrow. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi, and as always, go Pack Go.